Hey, it's Dina, Warthog Princess, with another Best of Vera Bradley video for you. This one is an addendum to the Best of in Styles that we did recently. This one is the Best of Patterns. It is a big undertaking to say what are your favorite patterns and to limit yourself to a certain amount or number of them. So this was a fun task, but a difficult one because I do have some kind of float in my taste. But I did limit myself to about 20 retail side patterns. And so if you think about the number of patterns that have come out from Vera Bradley, to me, that is a good limit. Plus that was about where I topped out on my top ones that flew off the top of my head. So thank you to Cynthia for requesting this follow on to the Best of Vera Bradley. And let's get into it. So first off, I have to start with, and these are in no particular order except for the first one. I have to say that you knew Midnight Blues was going to be on here because that was my first love in Vera Bradley, and I would say first and one of my all-time favorites. I just love this pattern because of a few reasons, and these are kind of how my tastes go. I like the dark backgrounds, I like bright colors, and I like florals and paisleys. I do like geometric, I like other things, I like solids, but I kind of, that is where my tastes lie, and it's pretty consistent as I look at this stack of things. So there you go, that's the first of it. And this fits all of those criteria for sure, but I really love blues and teals, and purple's my favorite color. So again, hits on all those cylinders as well. So beautiful pattern. This is an older, I don't want to say old, it's not vintage, but it is old enough that it was around 2012. So it has the coordinating trims, which you can see there is very nice. And then it also has the interior patterns as well. So Midnight Blues is tops, not the base, not the most favorite, but the first favorite and one of my all-time loves. And from there, of course, then a natural transition would be to Moonlight Garden, which was actually inspired by Midnight Blues. And so when you look at them side by side, you can see where some of the resemblances lie in some of the blues and teals and florals in there. So not same, but definitely similar enough that you can get the idea. Inside of this one, you have the blues and teals and the fireflies. There you go, so a little firefly in there. It's sort of a weird floral vine thing. That's cool. So I should say also, even though we're not talking about styles, I pulled these for big swaths of pattern. You got the messenger bag, and then you have the deluxe weekender in Moonlight Garden. Look out, cow, cow. Come on, you want to say hi? Come on. Come on. There you go. Oh, no. Okay, we'll come back to her when we get to the black and whites. All right, along with Moonlight Garden, you have to include the lighten up version, which is the Firefly Garden. The pictures or the florals are bigger and farther apart, so you see more of the navy blue background, but definitely a fun pattern, and it ties right in with the first two. And next, near and dear to my heart, I will always go for a red, white, and blue. This one is it's paisley, but it's geometric, really, kind of. So anyways, red, white, and blue, and the inside is stars and also red, white, and blues. This is, of course, Fireworks Paisley. And this is the large duffel. And I haven't figured out how to make all of mine fold this way and stay, but I think that would give me more room on the shelf. So sometime in the near future, I need to refold like this. You'll see my other ones are folded like this. Anyway, a process. It's a process. It's always a process, an evolution. All right, next up. Dark backgrounds, bright colors, florals and paisleys. This is probably my favorite all-time pattern, and it's Midnight with Mickey. It is just bright colors. It's very happy. It's spring. It's summer. It's whatever. But it's also very Mickey. So you have Mickey and Minnie in the pattern, and then you also have all these subtle Mickey heads and things in the pattern as well. So it's very distinctly Disney, but yet when you first look at it, you're like, oh, that's just a bright, colorful, pretty bag. Yeah. Anyways, love me some Disney. All right, along the same lines is Mickey's Magical Blooms. I like this a lot, same reasons, but I do, of course, like Midnight with Mickey much better. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, there's your magical blooms. It's definitely more Disney specific, but lots of purples in the pattern. And I'm sorry, I didn't show you the inside of this. This is also nice too. It's got these fun florals and these little geometric things. Very colorful, love it. And it matches very well with the outside, which of course is great. All right, but Mickey's Magical Blooms, which inside, oops, where's the inside? Exit is more of the blooms. Ah, but not this one. I did not realize this one didn't have the interior pattern. Well, that kind of sucks. Okay, well, you'll have to look that up, but the inside of Magical Blooms is blooms kind of like these right here, like this green one, but they have Mickey heads in the middle. Yeah, anyway. Okay. Hey, Kelly. You want back up? Nope, still no. Okay. All right. Next pattern to discuss. We have the 4-piece travel cosmetic. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the Foxwood pattern. And the reason I picked this piece to show the pattern is because I have a big swath of the interior pattern on the outside. So, dark background, bright colors, florals and paisleys. Yeah, Foxwood. The bonus with Foxwood is you get these adorable little critters, the foxes specifically, but also other ones. And sadly, none on this piece, so bad example. But there are a lot of purples in there as well. And so when you see like the bigger swaths of it, it is definitely a nice pattern. The other thing is the inside, which again, purple, hello, ping. But Boxwood Menagerie is what this is called. And you have all the critters. So there's your fox, you've got a quail, you've got a woodpecker. Let's see what else we have here. You've got a chipmunk down here in the corner. Definitely, oh, and there's your little gerbil up here on the top. On the other side here, we've got the rabbit and more of the same critters. Yeah, so fun pattern and purpley and whatnot. There is also, and I don't have any to show you, but you can go online and look at it. It's the Foxwood Blue and the Foxwood Menagerie Blue, and that is in the custom Vera section. Again, I don't have that. But, oops, I rearranged. Here we go. Okay, so, moving right along. Okay, these aren't going to stack, but I'm going to end up with this big stack. Okay, next one, Heather. Purples and teals, yeah, and paisleys. Really, really pretty. I just love the colors and the way that this comes together. It brings in pinks and some other, even the lime greens. I mean, it goes really well, and I just love it. Cool thing about this is it goes really well with both elderberry and gloxinia and plum. And so kind of it mixes with all those plus all the teal colors. So like Bahama Bay and turquoise, whatever the other one was called. There's a bunch of them. So it kind of is a nice blending pattern that you can pull in different solids with. Okay, next one. Yeah, I love purple. And if I went by patterns that I just had a ton of, this would top that list. It wouldn't be the only one on that list, but you can't always go by just because I have more of a pattern that's my favorite. It's not necessarily true. All right, but I do love Lilac Medallion. I don't know, it's just something about it. It's geometric, it's purple, it's not my true purple like elderberry purple, but it's more like a gloxinia purple. It's beautiful, and it's just got the teals and just the other pops of colors that jump out at you, and it's geometric, so you really can't get a bad placement with it. So, I don't know, all those reasons, I love it. And you do have more of the true purple looks when you just look at it at a distance. Inside you have Lilac Foulard, which is nylon in this case. This is the Grand Weekender. This is the biggest of the travel series, if you will. And it is awesome. I actually haven't used it but once, I think, maybe. Just because I have not needed a big bag. Not all in one anyways. Okay, now let's touch base on some Midtown ones. I like a lot. I like Garden Dream, and I think what I like about it is, one, I like the materials, but we're talking strictly patterns here. I like that it's a little bit more elegant, if you will. It has, you know, some pinks and some like the subtle blues in the background that kind of pop more than they look in the video, what I'm looking at here. But like in real life, it's more blue. It just sort of stands out. There's a nice pattern placement right there. So yeah, I don't know. I just like it. It's nice spacing. It brings in some different color palettes, and I like it. It goes with a lot of things too. On the same note, we got Midtown Airy Floral, and I like this better. Well, I like it for different reasons. This one is a little bit bolder. I like that if you look at Park Stripe, which is currently out, it's got the purple flowers, but then the very subtle stripes in it. Airy Floral is the same way. See, it has the gray and black looking stripes when you get up close, but from a distance, it just looks like a brown or black bag. But I really like that about it, and I like the purples and pinks and the greens. It's just balanced, I think. It's feminine but not overstated, and it's not grandma-y or anything. I don't know. I like it. So there you go. All right. Next up, Fruit Grove. I wasn't sure I would like it, honestly, but then I saw it and I was like, oh, okay, that's really cute. And I wish they had more styles that came out in this pattern. It was very limited, mostly like travel takes and then the small backpack like this one. And, oh, sorry, this is obviously the Midtown tote. This is not the small, it's a regular size. Yeah, so small backpack and Fruit Grove, just awesome. And watermelon, my #1 favorite food of all time, so it had to be in the patterns. All right, next one, Petite Garden. Now, let's look at this. This is another large duffel. And what I did, by the way, I went first to the large duffels because they're just huge swaths of fabric to look at. But the Petite Garden, I just really love this. And at first, I wasn't sure, but it's pinky, purpley, more pink than anything. But it has these little snails in the pattern and these flowers. I really like it. And in fact, I like this pattern so much, I have almost everything that was made in it. Almost. Not quite, but just about. But look at the pattern. It's more colorful than you think at first. Like you think, oh, that's pink. But no, there's a lot of other colors in there. I love it. And I do like the VB line. Just a little bit more classier flair to it. All right. Next one. Kiev Paisley. And again, I think this appealed to me in the beginning because it was dark background, bright colors. These are like very jewel tones. It has a lot more green than I would normally like, but it is also very purpley. So for this one, depending on which pieces of the Paisleys you get will kind of sway the overall tone of it, if you know what I mean. So it's a lot of greens and purples and blues, but so like you can kind of see that here. I like the purple parts. But I like this pattern placement. I have like a no kidding intact floral paisley right there in the front. And then here's some more of the fabric. And when you look at this side, to me this looks like more green, especially when you look at this chunk. That's a lot of green. But when you look at this side, you got more of the purples coming in. But they're bright colors. And inside, I keep not showing you the insides of these, but I think this one would be Kiev Swirls. But unfortunately, a lot of the duffels, especially these era, were solid interiors. And Petite Garden just has gray. All right, back to what we're talking about. Next one is a journey backpack in cut vines. Now, we actually looked at this backpack the other day, but not for the pattern. The reason I like this pattern is it's sort of subtly colorful is the way I describe it, because you have the shades of blue. It's two different blues, actually. So it almost looks like, I don't know, like it got wet and was, I don't know. It's just two colors. You have a lighter blue and a darker blue in the background. And then the paint splashes in the silhouettes of flowers. It sort of strikes me initially as like a fall thing, like your fall colors. But then you look at it and you're like, no, there's some bright teals and blues and yellow and pink, and yeah, it's just subtly colorful. So when you look at it up close, you're like, oh, wow. Then you get a totally different picture when you look back. But it's just nice. It's nice. It's easy. It's easy to look at. And of course, I love the journey backpack. Yeah. So next up, favorite color is purple. here's Java purple. Now, this is an elderberry that goes with it, of course, and this is a custom Vera tote. I had to get one of these because the only way to get Java purple is to get a custom bag. It was never sold as or released as a pattern at all. However, it was released as Java blue. So Java blue exists and was very, very popular, but Java purple never was. So I got the Java purple. I have a Carson and the Vera. And the inside is just a geometric. It's okay, but I like the outside better. So there you go. And I went with a simple styling on the custom just because, I mean, I really love the true purple, and I think that the purple on the outside to me brought out more of the elderberry purples in the pattern. So I just went with that for straps and trim. And the inside is just contrast. Plus it's a little lighter on the inside with that other pattern. Next up, Ramble. Yeah, purples and blues, hello. And it's not Paisley, and it is geometric, so it still kind of fits right in my wheelhouse, if you will. This is a diaper bag, actually, and it's, I don't think it's called the ultimate diaper bag or something. Anyways, we're not going into too much detail in the bag, but there's, you know, like your changing mat, fits right in that back slip. I, of course, did not buy it as a diaper bag. I bought it just as a nice tote with some different organizational options, because that makes sense to me. And the side pockets are insulated, which is helpful, of course, even in Arizona, just for water. That's great help. Anyway, great organization on the diaper bag. All right, next up, so from Ramble, just like with some of the other patterns, you have to include the lighten up as well. And in this case, that's really, to me, two totally different patterns. But guess what? Both of them I like very much. Purples and blues, geometrics, right? And florals, dark backgrounds. Scene and theme. There you go. All right, and that's a Journey backpack. Next up, okay, this is a cooler thing. So it's actually like a soft-sided cooler box. See, like that. And I think I got this from the paper store. But anyway, it's springtide navy. And so let's just look at this front. It's actually the top cover. This isn't as great of a view of it as it is on this other bag that I have as a vinyl coated bag, but that is being used for something else right now, and I didn't want to empty it all out and bring it in, sorry, but you still get the idea. So Springtide Navy was kind of the dark version of the Shore Thing, which was great pattern also, but again, light background, so I have not too many pieces in Shore Thing. I do have some. But I liked the Springtide Navy because it still had the critters, you know, you got your turtle and you got all this other stuff, very nautical for sure, but again, dark backgrounds. And I just liked the blues and teals better that way. So for what that's worth, ooh, that's not gonna stay. Okay, next one. Okay, that is actually pretty much the end of my patterns, except black and whites. So if you count black and white as one, then we're within 20. But if you break them out as individual patterns, not so much. These ones, see, I like to mix and match my black and whites. So to me, all of these go together, even though they're all different. I just have fun with that. It's mixy-matchy, or coordinating, if you will. So this first one is Night and Day. And to me, it's a florally print, but like sometimes when I first looked at it, I thought, oh, that's like a moon. And yeah, it's not. It's more just florals, but black and whites. But I like it. It's older. Like I totally missed that pattern when it went through. And then I picked up a couple pieces later when I started really going crazy again on Vera. So next one is Midnight Paisley. This is a Glenna. Obviously that other was a medium cosmetic, sorry. But the Glenna, and I can't show you the inside. The inside is supposed to be houndstooth. This is a story of its own on my first lesson in gougery and dishonesty on Amazon, because I bought this. The picture showed a retail version. When I received it, I didn't realize it was an outlet version initially. I actually thought it was a counterfeit at first, but anyway, longer story. The picture showed the retail version with the proper inside. but this is a nylon plain black outlet version clearly, and I paid full MSRP for it. I was pissed. I kept it, I did whatever, I just sucked it up and ate it, but big lesson, I don't trust them. So, there you go. But anyway, not everybody's dishonest. I don't need to paint that picture, but I don't like green. But I do like black and white, so I am glad that I got it, because I don't have much in that pattern at all. Then you have Concerto in a large duffel, and it has this nice coordinating trim with it on there. And the inside of Concerto is Mini Concerto, but Mini Concerto also had its own stuff as well. And you may also recognize the Mini Concerto because this was the collegiate pattern. They have just now started to come away from it into a new Paisley style one, but you could get this in really, pick a color, you can get it. I have a bunch of purple, like an elderberry color Mini Concerto, because of course I love purple, but I picked it up at the annual outlet sale and other places. So anyway, the black and white was just black and white. It wasn't a collegiate specific, although any school that was black and white, you could get that too. But I do have a lot of Concerto and Mini Concerto stuff. I definitely like that. Okay, so that's it for the retail side, but I did pull some favorites from the factory side as well. And neither of these lists is all inclusive because I didn't go scour the available ones. I just pulled up ones that were off the top of my head. Before we go on to the outlet ones, I did want to say that besides the Foxwood Blue, which I don't have, I also really fond of Blue Rhapsody, which I do not possess, and also Tavern on the Green, which is a unicorn pattern, a very colorful, dark background. I love it. So those two patterns I don't have. You can look them up and see how beautiful they are, but I don't have them. So sorry, but I love them. They're definitely on my list, top 20. All right, factory side. Number one factory side for me, Bandana Swirl. Why? Dark background, bright colors, paisleys and florals. I mean, it sells itself to me. But I like it. You got the blues and pinks and greens and yellows. You got really all the different colors. Really, you don't have purple, but I still love it. I went a little crazy on this pattern because I liked it so much. Ooh, that's not gonna stay. Tall pile. Okay then. Next, let's do that one for, we'll do the black and whites last. Next one, Tropics Tapestry. If you're watching my other videos today, you might have seen the towel. The towel actually looks a lot more purple. The Tropics Tapestry is actually more of a blue and white pattern, but it does have the purples in there. They're just not as vividly purple as they are on the towel. But I don't know, I like this pattern. It's well spaced, it's balanced, it's a limited palette, but it's blues and purples. It fits, I still like it. I really don't have much. I have this. I have a anchor straw tote that has this like in the shape of an anchor, and I have a towel. That's it so far, but it's current pattern on the outlet side. Next I have Airy Flowers. It's blue, but it's blue and purple. Obviously there's pink and white too, but I don't know. It's simple, it's geometric. Can't get a bad placement, but I just like it. This was something that I was a late bloomer to and went a little crazy on one of the online outlet sales and got a bunch of it. And I think I got just the right amount. It's good. And then you got Waikiki Paisley. I really like the blues and teals again. So this is more of the teal side, but has like that purple and blue in there as well. So kind of nice. And again, paisleys and florals. Yeah. What can I say? I'm a simple girl. Next one is Lotus Flower Swirl. And this one is a little harder for me to describe what exactly it is about this pattern that attracts me. But it's sort of, I don't know, it's just kind of a bright, corals and teals and blues. So the blue and teal, and I don't know. I like it. I like the flowers. Like I like this flower, for example. But I also like this, like, it's not a real flower, obviously. I guess something about it, just the purples and blues. I don't know. I like it though. It's cool. So I got a bunch of stuff in this pattern. Let me turn it up. And this is another large tote, of course. Or I mean, duffel, large duffel. Yeah. So, fun flowers. And the next one is fan flowers. Now, I'm not super keen on mint, I have to say, but I do like whales. And this is not the best depiction that I wanted to show. I actually wanted to show the beach towel. I will link down below the beach towel video because the fan flowers towel is in there and it's super cute whales. It really is. But I only have this beach tote and the little wristlet goes with it, and that's it in fan flowers. But because it's a whale, not because the colors or the pattern, it's not a bad pattern, but I'm just not big on the mint, but I like the whale. So I got this to go with my whale towel. Yeah, it made sense to me. All right, stay up there. But let me show you one thing, since that's the top of the pile anyway. These beach totes are super cool, by the way. If you haven't seen them, because they're outlet version only, they have the bottom unzips all the way around, and it has a mesh on the bottom so that when you have your stuff in the tote, and then you just shake it and the sand comes out and all your stuff stays in. It's kind of nifty. It's like the outlet's answer to the drawstring family tote, if you will. Anyway, okay. So next, and this is, again, these are the black and whites from the outlet side. Unfortunately, I don't have the Paisley Noir. I thought I had at least one piece and I just couldn't find it. Pretty sure I have one. And it's the medium cosmetic. But anyways, this is an example. Okay, this is Paisley Amethyst. Paisley Noir, though, is the same pattern, but with black and gray and white. So if you can imagine this in a black and gray and white, I like this as a purple too, but it didn't make the top 5 for the outlet. Sorry, it's like number 6. Or you could bump fan flowers and it would be number 5. But anyway, the reason I brought this out was honestly because of the Paisley Noir, which is black and white. Then you have Chandelier Noir, which is another geometric pattern, and it's fairly simple. It's floral, but the reason I like it is just because it's black and white. So black and white and gray, and it just gave me another option to add to my blacks and whites. So, okay, they're buried, never mind. But it's just another option that sort of just keeps with that theme. And I love, of course, both the outlet and the retail style 4-piece cosmetics. Next, oh no, here we go. Here's Paisley Noir. I did have something. I don't know what I was thinking. I have an umbrella, and I'm not going to open it up, but here's a mini umbrella. Paisley Noir, black and gray and white. Not the best depiction. You would see it better on this piece, but sorry. Couldn't find it. And the last one is another black and white Blanco bouquet. And this is basically these big flowers. They're like almost like a lace flower of sorts. And they're kind of just all over the pattern. So it's fairly simple. This isn't the best depiction, but I don't actually have a bunch of big pieces. I have this, maybe a couple things like a zip ID, and I think that's it. Kind of sad I didn't get more black and white stuff. But sometimes you figure things out late. Anyway, there you go. So that is my best of Vera Bradley patterns. Like I said, there's a couple floaters that might float into the list or off the list and bump each other around. But for the most part, these are my top 20 and my top 5. In black and whites, you can just not count. They just go everywhere. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Washi washi, stay home, and thank you to all the things that you're doing to help make the world a better place. Bye for now.